And we're live.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Changing the Lost Smoky Mountain Wilds. I am William, or Shawnee, and I am your storyteller for this final show film's Changing the Lost Second Edition Chronicle. As my brain is running in all kinds of circles trying to remember any parts of my opening script. And joining me today, we have Jeremy.
Hi, I'm Jeremy. I am playing Jackson Montgomery, Marlene Dubois, who is a third Changeling.
And Katie.
Hi, I'm Katie. I'm playing Joe Arbor, who is an elemental notary.
And Austin.
Hey, I'm Austin, and I'm playing Frank and Lisa, who are beastkin. Frank is a lethopomp, and Lisa is... I almost got through the whole thing. Polychromatic, that one. Thank you.
And Drevian.
I'm Drevian. I'm playing some character that ends in Ian.
I mean, yeah, fair.
Frisian, who is a Darkling Hunterheart.
And Julia.
Hi, I'm Julia. I am playing Cassandra Scott, the elemental polychromatic.
And as always, Black Lives Matter, trans rights are human rights, eat the rich. Jeremy has his one.
Fuck Vince McMahon. In perpetuity throughout the universe.
Throughout this universe and any others.
Yep. Whole multiverse of fuck. Multiverse of Fuck is the name of Jackson's memoirs.
It's going to be a good game tonight.
Oh, we're on.
I am so excited.
And when last we left off, the group having successfully completed their most recent major task, has elected to take an amount of time for themselves, with some of them being everyone except for Frank and Lisa, deciding to take a trip to some shopping place to get new clothes for our newly enriched married couple of Joe and James. Meanwhile, Frank and Lisa have awoken and are in the early morning stages of being in the presence of a werewolf pack. In particular, having had the spot they were sleeping turned into like a bird nest kind of thing, out of aromatic herbs and spices. Presumably by Tangle. So we'll pick up briefly there. What is Frank/Lisa doing this morning as people are waking up in this place that the Girls Go Shopping pack calls their home?
What are the herbs and spices?
Just about everyone that you would find in a kitchen. Most of them are primarily aromatics. They're things that are more there for scent than flavor.
Okay, so like your typical braising and roasting type. Bay leaves and all that stuff. Okay, well, that's a little harder to work with. Is it early enough that the werewolves are still asleep?
Some of them are, yes.
Is Tangle still asleep?
Probably.
All right. Well, only fair then to return the favor and cook breakfast. I'm thinking heavy on the meats, sausage and eggs, but I need to make pancakes. And I need to do the pancake art thing and make some little cat pancakes.
All right.
And since I know the spices, we're going to go with like gingerbread pancakes, cloves, ginger, cinnamon, the like. And given how much she liked this drink last night, I think we're going to go with a spiced hot chocolate. Probably use a sweeter chocolate, but then use like earthier herbs like cardamom to give it a higher depth of flavor without introducing the bitterness of a darker chocolate, because that'll go well with the pancakes and then all the salty meats.
Just roll me. This is more organization than it is manual dexterity, so we'll call it wits and crafts.
It is crafts, and if no one's awake, do I get to do it in half time?
As long as you're not observed, yeah.
Okay.
If you're activating your brownies boon.
I mean, it's a passive thing.
Yeah.
I can make it go faster, but hold on. Why am I logged in as you?
Oh, right, because I forgot to log out of the Roll20.
Hello, my name is Austin, and I am prepared. I'm also a liar.
I just forgot to log out after session yesterday, so that's partially my fault, because normally I remember to do that.
Well, yeah, if I logged in before I needed to make a roll.
That just sounded like the thing of like, one of us only speaks in truths. One of us only speaks in lies. You get to ask us one question.
The answer is punch you in the face. Did that hurt? Okay. Wits and crafts. And again, we're impressing a girl. So willpower is necessary.
Zero successes.
Ugh.
Ew.
Everything burns.
It doesn't burn. It's just not as impressive as you would hope it was.
It's very bland. Can I at least save the hot chocolate?
No, hot chocolate is hot chocolate. It's hard to fuck up hot chocolate. If you had failed a chance roll, you might have fucked that up.
I will respectfully disagree with you.
No.
I've seen it done many times.
You can absolutely mess up hot chocolate.
You can burn it.
Yes.
No. You can
Not burning it.
You can mess up hot chocolate. You can mess up anything.
If you're bad enough, yes. But the fact that you have a pool that is decent means you're not that bad at it.
Okay.
You're not failing a chance roll here. It's just not great. But it is exactly the food you say it is. It's just not as good as it could have been had you made it.
It's not balanced.
Yeah. That said, the specific decisions of food that you made is still relevant to whether or not people will enjoy it.
Okay.
So you create this spread of meat and pancakes with some hot chocolate. And
I'm also going to, if no one's up at that point, I'm going to send a text to the rest of the group, just saying, planning on heading down to the common grounds. Are we planning on meeting up?
so you would be about halfway through creating breakfast when people wake up, except for with the brownies boon, you are wrapping up creating breakfast when first the first people in the pack who would wake up would be probably Tangle and Sadie. So the two of them are the first ones up in the morning. And Sadie steps out and is like, "Damn, that is a strong smell."
So I think I overdid the cardamom.
I mean, it's not bad. It's just unique. Just has sniffing the air.
Yes, unique. Everyone's favorite euphemism.
I mean, it's the word you've got when you got a smell that isn't necessarily a bad smell, but you have a hard time describing it.
Fair enough. Thanks for letting me crash. Just
Yeah,
gotta wait out some drama. Shouldn't be a big deal.
I don't know if drama's a thing you wait out. Says Sadie.
You wait out the worst of it, then you talk it over later.
I mean, or you get in an honor duel and solve it that way. You know.
I don't want to kill the man.
It's why it's an
I
honor
don't think
duel.
the feeling's mutual.
You don't kill people in a duel. Not a good one, anyway. The point of a
mean-
duel is to settle a dispute, not murder someone.
I mean, he shot me yesterday, so
And
regardless. I gotta prep up. Hoping to help. Is it Calliope?
Cassandra.
Sandra.
Cassandra.
It used to be Calliope.
That's it. Okay. I'm like, why is this name in my head? It doesn't. I don't think it's right. Seeing if I can help Cassandra find some memories in the hedge. Maybe I know she'd been talking about it.
Well, in any case, Sadie says as she sort of like walks over, sets her laptop on a counter, grabs a bit of food, and starts munching on it. She doesn't seem like wildly impressed by it, but she doesn't seem to hate it either. So
Yeah.
she sort of takes it like she would take any other breakfast.
Yeah.
Tangle, meanwhile, walks over, grabs one of everything, basically, takes them over to a spot for her to sit down and starts devouring them. Tangle likes food very openly, and even if this is not the best food that she's had, it is food that she likes, which means she's going to like it wholeheartedly.
Yay. So what you're saying is it is better to be overly ambitious and fail than to be conservative and do an okay job.
At least as far as Tangle is concerned.
Well, cool. Because as far as Frank is concerned, that's the only person that matters right now. So, all right. Frank will stick around for breakfast before realizing he's got to find a way to get a ride to Dollywood.
Yeah, the rest of the pack slowly trickles in one after another until all of them are awake and all get breakfast. The reactions are varied, but they are generally on the realm of, yeah, geez, one of yours.
this is very adequate.
This is food.
Satisfactory.
This is consumable.
Yeah, this is food.
All I can think of now is like I started a new medicine that messes with my appetite. And it's like this is food. It's been my attitude this last week.
Yeah.
A couple of them comment on the scent as you come to the realization that wolves have a very powerful sense of smell.
Yeah.
Breakfast is had. Do you ask anyone about a potential ride?
Once it gets towards the end, I might say, I'll probably bring up, all right, I got to get back to the rest of the group, see what's going on. Any of you happen to be driving by, is Dollywood's in Pigeon Ford?
Yeah.
Any of you driving by Pigeon Ford by chance?
I mean, today's kind of a slow day, says Morgana, as she's sort of munching on a pancake. So I could probably drive you down there if you're going anywhere specific.
I got to meet up at Dollywood.
Fair enough. Yeah, I can swing you by.
Have to. Long story short, us changelings, the hedge steals some of your ability to produce emotion. And I found that in this world, being around a lot of it is good.
Fair enough. I mean, Dollywood is one of the most heightened emotional states that you'll find in the state. So, I mean, so fair enough.
Out of curiosity, what was the name of your group again?
For most people, we're just us, but you can recognize the majority of us as Wolves Go Chopping if you feel like.
Wolves Go Chopping. That's that song that was playing when you guys came in?
Kind of, yes. It's part of the inspiration. Sadie and I were instrumental in naming the group.
Nice. I look around. I don't suppose there happen to be any musical instruments about.
Not in the immediate vicinity, although if anyone has any musical instruments, they might be in their rooms.
Gotcha.
Anyway, Lily, you coming along? If they're meeting up with their pack, your sister might be there if you want to hang around. Lily sort of looks up from the bit of meat that she's chewing on. Yeah, I could go. Might as well. I mean, it's been a long time since I've been to Dollywood. I might just visit. All right. If anyone else has any business, let me know. I'll drop these two off and then head back. With that, the camera pans over to the rest of you in one of the cars.
Vehicles.
Yes, the text probably comes in when you're about halfway to wherever Jackson is headed.
My phone notably does not make a notification because I currently have Frank/Meet Lisa's number blocked.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, probably not blocked, probably just muted.
Mm-hmm.
Persian looks at the notification and then ignores it. Probably would also have Frank and Lisa muted, but doesn't have the technological know-how to do so.
I mean, fair.
Hasn't learned that that's a feature yet.
What did the text say again? I'm sorry.
It basically said, I'll be heading to Dollywood later. Are we planning on meeting up at the Commons?
Gotcha. Joe is gonna look at it, close her eyes, take a deep breath. Like, she does not want to have this conversation in a car, but it's gonna happen anyway.
I mean, that's fair.
So she goes, so I know this is not what some of you want to hear right now, but Lisa sent a text to the group chat.
I don't suppose there's any chance that the number changes because of Fae trickery.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, now the thought comes to mind is like the number changes depending on who's using the phone. Frank has one number and Lisa has a different number, but it's the same physical phone.
I mean, if the thing is,
All Sims are a thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say the phone is just a mundane phone, so no, it doesn't. They could have set you up with a dual SIM phone that had a SIM for each of them individually, but they did not.
No.
Well, I mean, I had my phone when I departed the hedge in a bag of stuff, which is why I was.
Phone is otherwise normal.
Okay.
So Frank, Lisa.
What does Frank want?
So apparently he's done flirting with the werewolves. He wants to know if we're meeting back up at Dollywood at the Commons.
I mean, we eventually are.
Okay, so would you like me to reply eventually?
I mean, look, you can reply however you like. I can be in Frank's presence, especially if it's a public location.
Right, well, I just don't want to, upset the person behind the wheel. So that's
I'm just
Mhm.
fine. I appreciate that, but I will be just fine. I can help. I can be in the same room. How the conversation goes will be entirely up to Frank.
understood.
But
I don't know about entirely, says James.
no, I'm sorry. Let me clarify that. I have no intent. I believe I have made my position to Frank clear at this point.
You
Judge
should
Rock usually does.
Does that not make the point
That
clear?
makes the position clear. I've made my position to Frank clear at this point. I do not feel the need to pose any further threats to him. I will not start off aggressively. Now, if Frank comes in there and comes at me with a knife or something, or just tries to be the fool in other foolish ways, then I will gather him. But I will certainly not start violence, especially in a public place.
I mean, I suppose that's all anyone can ask for, and I appreciate your candidness.
Thank you.
So Joe is going to just text back to the group chat eventually. Like the word eventually.
Okay. Response. Sounds good. Need to mill among the people for a bit anyway.
Okay. So thumbs up emoji.
All right, so Jackson, where are you taking people?
I am taking them to some high-end clothing boutiques. I have done a little bit of research for potential places in Knoxville. I'm not saying these places specifically, just places like them.
You're throwing Joe to the fucking wolves.
I mean, it is expensive, very nice clothing shop. Not most of it is not what I would consider to be over the top until the end of the shopping trip, when there's one other place that we go to. That is for Jackson will explain, is definitely more for the if you need to go anywhere that requires formal wear, making a statement. I mean, let me be clear about that. You are always making a statement, no matter what you go out of the house dressed in. But these are for making a particular type of statement.
Cool. So what I'm gathering is that any of these shops that you go to, the cheapest thing on the racks is going to be about $150.
Probably, to be honest.
The better question
Like,
is,
it's
are
not-
there price tags?
I mean, I'm just looking at like
I feel like
homepage.
you're not at Black Card Boutique at this point.
Yeah.
I feel like you're at Upper
No, we're not. Yeah, Jackson is not trying to give poor Joe a heart attack.
Yeah.
We're starting like mid-range of what the fuck is this price?
Yeah, we're not at the kind of place where it's like if you have to ask the price, you can't afford it.
Right, exactly.
No, do not do that to Joe. Joe,
We'll get there. Oh, we will get there at some point.
okay,
But we're not there now.
that's not. But you don't jump in the deep end.
You ease people in, and really, I mean, Jackson will 100% have Joe do the trying on outfits montage that is in every fucking movie, and will honestly encourage.
You just want to critique Joe.
Well, no. I mean, yes, but no, not just that.
Don't lie to me.
I'm now just picturing the Velvet scene. No, ew, hate it. I want to die. Yes, that one.
But it,
Wrist
the witch
shuffles.
is like the witch who wore it. No, and will 100% try to get Cassandra and Frisian to do it as well.
Oh, Cassandra's all for it.
Yeah. Like, we need to upgrade everybody's fucking wardrobes.
All I can think is at some point during this montage, Frisian walks out in a dress.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's completely like the wrong color and like cut for Frisian.
Oh. Horrible, but positive critiques.
It was just in the pile of clothes Frisian was trying on. It's like,
Right.
why not?
All right, that's a point. First, you pick up Frisian.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
So on the way to these boutiques that you're heading, you stop at a Planet Fitness in the middle of Knoxville, and the waiting outside is Frisian. Also, Frisian's grandnephew, who just sort of like waves as your car pulls up and then starts to head out because they wouldn't have left Frisian just alone while they're waiting on their ride, but had other places to be.
Absolutely fair. There we go.
So as the ride pulls up,
Yep.
Andrew sort of looks at Frisian and says, "All right, there's your ride. Yeah, give me a ring if you need any other assistance or more time at the gym.
Thank you.
It's good hanging out.
Yeah.
Family. It's weird.
It's nice to reconnect.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna take off," he says as he turns and just starts to jog away.
See you later.
Yeah.
And waves after him.
Offers the like over the shoulder wave.
Wait for you to get in. Did you have a good time?
Yeah. It's good to have like organization and a goal for working out, so like having someone there to help. Like a gym is also good. It's nice.
Sure. Listen, I can't say I understand, but that's fine. I understand the overarching if I take the words gym and workout out of it. I understand.
It's like you're preparing a new routine for a drag show.
Oh yes, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. If I take the exercise parts out and focus on routine and goals and that, I get that. Anyways, we're going clothes shopping.
Oh, cool. I'm still not super familiar with modern clothing trends.
Oh, you will be.
I'm not super familiar with expensive clothes.
Oh, you will be.
That's
expensive.
what I hear.
Oh, so we're getting nice clothes.
We are getting nice clothes. Well, we are getting nice clothes and everyday clothes. Just the everyday clothes are nice clothes.
Oh,
We're getting clothes that are appropriate to the new budget that my wife and I have suddenly fallen into.
That exactly.
Okay, that I have fallen into. You have always had this budget. Okay.
I mean, not very recently. I haven't. Considering I was not the one living like this, I was a dragon.
Yeah, but you at least grew. You at least fucking grew up with this budget. Okay. Like this.
You are familiar with it, but has still falling into it anew.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I'm getting snappy, and that's my nerves coming out. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It just means I know you are still alive.
Thanks, Mom.
Nice clothes reminds me of Fixer's suit from last night, like the armored suit.
Mm.
That
Yeah,
was
she was a piece of work.
I wonder where she got the suit.
Armored clothing, I would guess custom made.
If I had to guess, it's from Network Zero.
Network what?
The group of hunters that they. She's one of Tia's buddies, so
Okay. Yeah, that's true.
I'm fairly certain she gets all of her clothing from them.
I wonder if
Oh,
whoever
I should
makes
ask,
it
is Tyr with you?
Yeah, sure, why not?
In that case, then Tyr actually interjects. Oh, no, we get that from Cavaldi.
I don't know that designer.
That's fair. You wouldn't. He's a black market designer who makes that kind of outfit. He lives in Knoxville.
Every time you open your mouth about your job, I hate it a little bit more.
So you're saying we can get armored clothes?
Legitimately, yes. Cavaldi doesn't just supply hunters.
More importantly, what I'm hearing is you have a black market tailor.
Yes.
Interesting.
And legitimately speaking, yes, I can get you a connection to Cavaldi.
Fantastic. So yeah,
No, be aware, it's a black marketplace, and it's a lot of money, and it's the kind of place that speaks in euphemisms.
I would assume so. I wasn't saying that we're going there now or anything.
But yeah, keep it in mind.
Yeah, absolutely.
The armored clothes.
Are you thinking battle dress too? Because I'm thinking battle dress.
I mean, a little bit.
Okay.
Look, I did
was
just
thinking-
shoot someone recently. I may need to have Kevlar in some of my outfits going forward.
Like not even just battle dress, just like Joe, James, and Jackson are all fairly high, like important characters in the city, or Joe will be.
Yeah, about that.
Like they'll be high profile, so like nice, presentable clothing that can also double as protection. Especially with Jackson like changing, like doing an about face politically.
Oh boy, this is giving me stuff I haven't thought about.
What you're going through right now is called New Rich. See, Jackson and I are now at the point where we are old rich because we gotten over it. So
I become old rich in approximately 0.05 seconds.
man knows what he wants.
But I mean, you've had a predisposition to that.
I don't know that predisposition is the right way to put it. I've always had aspirations for it,
That's fair.
which you haven't, and that is entirely valid and fair and understandable.
Just not to you.
Oh, I can't relate one little bit.
She's gonna turn to James like, you're just getting a kick out of this, aren't you?
Oh, I absolutely am.
All I can imagine is they're now talking about being rich, and Frizzing goes back to his phone trying to Google Marine school standards.
Listen, having resources is something that is useful and valuable, obviously.
Right.
the trick to it is accessing it and using it in a way that doesn't change you in a way you don't want to be changed. If you want to be the same old you you've always been, well, the same old you are now, because you've always been. We're talking Changeling and that, and
Yeah.
way. If you want to be the same you that you've been, that is perfectly fine. But you can do that and still live in a way that is entirely comfortable. And think of it as giving you more options, as opposed to, I don't know, however you might be looking at it. Yes, exactly. It's not something that has to change you. It is something that will change your clothing, because I'm going to make sure of that.
What would I do without
But
you?
it doesn't have to change you.
Don't answer that question.
I shudder to think. Literal nightmares.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Now, I will note, says Tier from the back, Cavaldi's is kind of a reservation place, so let me know ahead of time if you want to go there at any point.
I would assume so.
And it doesn't have to be far in advance. I could book us for tonight, but
No. I think, again, we want to start off slow.
fair. I guess sundress, not armored dress for today.
Absolutely. Or at least,
It's October though, so probably not sundress.
no. I mean, it's good to have it, and it's good to have it in the closet in case you need it. But you never know when we might take a random vacation to Bermuda.
All right, because that's a thing now.
Uh-huh.
Like my friend's parents just went to Grand Cayman this past week, so why not just random vacation to tropical destination?
I do love that the first tropical destination that came up is the one that has all the conspiracy theories.
It's just the first one that came to mind, probably because I saw it. I saw it mentioned last night.
Like all of
Ibiza then.
or there's I know like 50 of these places,
Yeah.
and I can tell
Antigua,
you
Trinidad and Tobago,
Barbados,
Barbados.
Wherever the fuck
Cabo
Chris
San
is from
Lucas.
that I can't think of.
Insert Yakko's world.
Yeah, pretty much.
Anywhere but here.
Curacao. That's where it was.
Uh,
Let's go on a vacation to Curacao.
to where?
Curacao.
Probably best well known to the rest of the world for oranges. And by oranges, I mean orange liqueur.
Yes. Blue Curacao is a very common.
Blue and dry
liqueur.
Curacao's both, yeah.
Yep. Basically anywhere, but although we wouldn't know this, but this is the world of darkies, so Mexico is probably not the best choice.
Probably not.
Right, because that's where the Sabat operates.
That's where the Sabat headquarters.
I really want to go to Curacao just for the potential implications of let's go to Frisian's homeland that he doesn't remember.
I mean, there's a lot there's a lot of fun stuff that can happen there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh, was he born on the island of Curacao?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is Dutch Caribbean.
Yeah. Anyways, head to boutiques.
Yeah. So you make your way into these
It
boutiques.
not murder clothes.
Not what?
Not well. The clothes I'm wearing were clothes I murdered fetches in. So like not murdering fetch clothes.
Some of them are a little grass stained. So.
You will 100% be wearing new purchases when you leave this place.
Yeah, because I'm not wearing murder clothes.
We should probably not
Probably.
call them murder clothes when we're in there. Just FYI.
I was about to say we might want to lower the volume of this conversation.
Fine.
Raise the legality.
I'll be wearing new clothes, not old.
They won't care. They're at the very least they will not question us about it or change how they act. But still, it's good to get in the habit of being in public and not discussing murder.
Yes, okay.
I don't know. You just have to sound like you're joking about it.
I mean, yeah, but if you play that line, eventually you slip up.
You could also just go along the lines of being military, and then killing people is usually not that frowned upon.
Look, it's not a big deal. I just won't say the word murder.
So you arrive at the first of your
Yep,
like you're at your 3 boutiques that are in a line. Because
absolutely.
these kind of boutiques stack up next to each other because rich people like to do all of their stuff at once.
Yeah, why not? Like, I want to travel somewhere else. Do it all. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
pretty much.
I'm spending money. I want it to be convenient.
Uh-huh.
And you don't want to accidentally run into poor people.
Also that.
That feels like less of a concern considering Frisian doesn't really have money. So there's a
No,
purpose.
again-
Well, I'm talking about rich people, not the group specifically.
Rich people don't want to accidentally encounter the poor people.
Because that's
What a
not.
faux pas.
Yeah, that's never going to be Joe.
They might get their poor person molecules on your fresh new clothing.
I don't need poor particles in my new Armani suit.
Poor particles.
What?
Rich people suck.
Rich people legitimately live in a different world.
Yes, they do. But yeah, so Jackson is going to from like most normal to like a little bit more formal to that last one. And like is going to try to get Joe in like some normal looking, quote unquote normal looking stuff that definitely fits into what Joe's aesthetic is currently, but just nicer, just like better constructed
jeans and sweaters. Yeah.
Yep. But also we'll definitely try to push into some good, like casual but very fashionable stuff as well.
Like sweater dresses with belts.
Like mid dresses, and we'll try to be pushing at least a decent amount of dresses.
Yeah, Joe has nothing against dresses. It's
yeah.
just
Now, the thing that strikes you, Joe, as you move through these first 2 stores, at least, is that just about like there's a lot of like genuinely unique and fancy outfits and pieces, articles of clothing that are here. There are some things that you would not find in most other places. However, there is a significant portion of this stock that is like 97, 98% something you could find at a Kohl's, except it has a very particular brand name stamped on the part of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Joe is going to look more towards the basic basic stuff and not so much like, oh, I'm going to buy this because it has a name brand on it. It's like, I'm going to buy it because I like it.
Yeah.
Which is how she's just always.
Like, they're straight up just blue jeans. They look like blue jeans. They look like the kind of jeans that you would find at any other clothing store.
They're just
Yeah.
$150.
They're like $150 and they have a brand name on them.
Yeah, that's and same thing with with dresses and the like she's not going to change her aesthetic. She's just going to it's like, okay, this is she has some neutral colors, she has some bright colors, she has some some patterns, but she's not going to buy something she's not going to buy I want this bag because it's a Louis Vuitton bag.
Right, exactly.
That's not who she is.
You're not a brand shopper. You're looking for your aesthetic.
Yeah, I'm looking for stuff I like. Do I like it? Okay.
Very much so.
Is it comfortable? Okay, because no uncomfortable shit.
Yeah, and Jackson will definitely be help you with making sure it proper fits. Construction is good. If it's something that's expensive but is still fairly flimsy, that gets thrown back. And we'll try to get you at least to try out stuff that's a little outside your typical aesthetic.
Sure.
That he thinks will look good on you. This is what he does professionally, essentially.
Yeah. So Joe
is finding people stuff that silhouettes that work well with people and shit like that.
Go on. Go on.
Talking at the same time.
Yeah.
And as far as that goes, as much shit as Jackson and Joe throw back and forth, Joe does trust his eye on things, so she's not gonna be overly sarcastic. She's gonna trust his judgment, and that there's something he pulls, and she's like, no, I absolutely don't like that. She's gonna say that, but she's also gonna be willing to try new things because that's
if she says no to things, there's no question, it's done.
Yeah,
and there is an extra subsection of fashion in this kind of building that you would not find at a more mid-end or low-end shopping place for clothes, which is what I tend to term costume apparel, which is to say it's the kind of clothing that's not literally a character costume, but is the kind of clothing that you wear to an event. Because it is not meant to be worn regularly. It is not sturdy enough to survive being worn regularly.
Yeah. Yep. That's the third store.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can see that.
But in these first two stores, Jackson steers you away from the majority of that kind of stuff.
Yes.
Is aiming more for the kind of stuff that is expensive and fancy, but can be worn regularly.
Right. And again, is also pulling in Cassandra and Frisian to get them some new outfits as well. So
now I have to ask.
Yes.
Frisian, what does the style of modern fashion look like to Frisian? What kind of outfit pieces does Frisian gravitate towards?
Probably stuff that would come off more timeless. Fitted button-up shirts.
Fitted shirts, suit jacket, and pants, shit like that.
Like this type of thing, like a civilian ball from the 40s. That
Yeah.
like Frizzy will look the same at that and now.
Yeah.
I mean, fashion like goes in cycles, so
Absolutely.
it wouldn't.
Men's high fashion doesn't change very quickly.
I was about to say, men's high fashion. It's just the fit that changes, really,
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
and we're back into the perfect fit that would have been in back then. So
Yeah.
maybe a little tighter nowadays, but
Changes in color as well. Like color does change through. Like think about like the 80s.
Mhm.
And
you can actually
the
find
Miami
you can
Vice
actually find
aesthetic.
men in colors that are not blue, black, or beige now. So
Yes.
Yeah.
actually, you go far back enough, and a lot of colors in suits would have been very fashionable.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
So like pre-World War II, green suits, plaid suits, like bright colored suits would have been in. It's just we're so used to black and white photography, we don't realize.
Right.
but World War II era, we do see a lot of that clothing still exists and can be seen. And there's a lot of like blues and blacks and browns in that era of clothing that Frisian specifically comes from.
Frisian, like several pairs of black pants in different cuts.
Mm-hmm.
Probably would try a couple of like warm tone shirts.
Okay.
Like kind of like a pastel orange sort of.
Now, are we
Nice.
still sticking, with those warm shirts? Are we still sticking in like button down, or are you going for like t-shirts for that kind of adjustment?
Probably more like polos and
Yeah.
No, not the full sleeve, but the just polo like. Yeah. Okay.
Like
more of like an 80s yuppie aesthetic almost. Not the full thing, like not
the personality, but the outfit.
No, no.
Like Frisian would try some, but like probably doesn't like them like how heavy a polo shirt is as much.
Mm-hmm.
And then goes back to like button-up shirts, that like lighter button-up shirts in warm colors.
Cool. Yeah. In Frisian's case for Jackson, it's most like I'm pretty sure you have one set of clothes. Moderately certain.
Black pinstripe pants, warm tone pinstripe button-up shirt, suspenders, tie.
Like I am pretty sure that we got you like one outfit, and that's all you've had, with the exception of like anything you've been able to snag in. So it's more about just getting Frisian some more clothes, just so it's not a matter of just wearing out one outfit constantly.
Yeah.
As opposed to trying to change the whole
honestly, like I mean, I know we've been talking about like the pocket pants for the formal pants for Frisian. I could almost like, because of the military vibe, I could almost see like some nice cargo pants. Honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Frisian wouldn't go for like denim pants.
No, but I'm talking about like, you know, the khaki.
Yeah.
Not khaki.
We're talking like probably corduroys, slacks, you know, that kind of older materials.
Yeah. Like he'd get a couple like he'd have like 2 or 3 pairs of like black pants, but he'd also throw in like a pair of blue pants.
Yeah, navy pinstripe, maybe dark gray.
Like a couple of different colors of pants, then like some white button-up shirts, some beige button-up shirts, and then splashes of color with the shirts too.
Yeah.
A nice like pockets.
Frisian's not going quite that formal. Unless Jackson steers him to get like proper formal wear.
I think probably at least one suit, one proper formal suit, because we will be going out to things probably at some point. Like not in the immediate future, but
I just picture Frisian in that specific outfit that I just put in the Roll Funny chat.
That's hilarious.
yeah, oh my,
With that haircut.
fucking, for those who aren't aware, that is Christian Bale as Patrick Bateman in American Psycho.
Yes. I'm very much aware.
Great movie.
It would not be that haircut because Frisian would still have the high and tight of a military haircut.
You're right.
I was just joking because that's a terrible haircut.
Yeah, it really is. It's
the Psycho
it's
Ball.
1980s
That doesn't-
fucking.
Flatter anybody.
No, it doesn't. But yeah, at least one formal thing so that if we do have to go to things, it doesn't look out of place. But otherwise, like, yeah, very much letting Frisian sort of pick his own stuff out. Again, suggesting stuff, but
I mean, Joe has aspirations of like, doing more charity work. So like that would absolutely be something.
that's what the third store is for.
Actually,
Yes, you
no.
had to be looking at the. You need to stop posting links because I was like flipping through the pages, going, I can't afford any of this shit, but I'm like looking at it.
You know what? No, Frisian wouldn't get any formal wear from these stores.
Okay,
He'll wait for the black market.
he's waiting for that is
Yeah,
absolutely.
you
Because-
get your formal wear from Cavaldi.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
Here's the thing though. Could you buy a piece of formal wear and then have like inserts, like hidden inserts, like bulletproof inserts or something from Cavaldi?
It wouldn't even be the inserts. It's also because Cavaldi will be custom tailoring it too.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying is like, but it's like, okay, I have this, I bought this dress, but like I would also like it to be bulletproof, like, but not obviously.
See, what Cavaldi would do, and as you sort of like go over that, and Tier explains, what Cavaldi would do if you brought him that would be just take the dress and make another one that looks identical to it, but is made out of the appropriate materials.
Nice. I like it.
Mhm.
Like he wouldn't be modifying an existing dress. That is poor craftsmanship.
That's not his.
It's also horrendously impractical
That's
because
not his stuff.
to make it bulletproof, you're redoing it from the ground up using like cut resistant fabrics and polymers and stuff. None of the materials in armored clothing are going to be the same as in regular clothing.
It will look like regular clothing, but it won't be made of anything that goes into regular clothing.
I stand corrected. So shopping.
Yep.
Well, yeah, Frisian, particularly when looking at the color charts, it's like I think he'll get like proper formal wear from Cavaldi, but like probably Jackson, you think like something black so like I can switch out the shirts and stuff with it?
Wouldn't be a bad idea. Yeah.
Cassandra's probably bought a few things from every store until we get to the last one, and then she's bought like 5 dresses.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so yeah, where I've described the first couple of stores. The last store is glamour fashion. Where the other ones are the kind of outfits that you would wear day to day as a rich person. These are the kind of outfits that you wear for an occasion as a rich person.
Occasion, right?
This is where you get the very dramatically well fitted dresses with the very exceptional figures and the things that glitz and glamour.
And that you never wear more than once.
Yeah.
Like I just picture like this is where like because Joe has been sticking with Jackson for the most part, but I picture this third store is where like she really gets to do like the sister thing with Cassandra and just be like like throwing like like holding shit. I was like, how about this one? No, try this. No, this one. No, this is your color. No, I got this one. Oh my god, I can't believe it. Like the running, not running, but like going through the store and be like, this one. No, this one. This one. This one. This one.
There's probably a point where you're shoved in a dressing room with like 10 dresses and just told to dress up.
There is one particular dress that Tier points out specifically for Cassandra, because he feels it's appropriate, which is this $750, but like Greek patterned. There's a term for the woman's dress that I cannot remember the name of. It's not a toga. But that style, the one shoulder,
the one shoulder.
Yeah. But it's patterned as if it was the outfit of a Greek goddess, because the edges of it have that sort of like spiraling square pattern on it, and then the frills at the bottom, and the main body is just a constellation of black night with stars.
Ooh,
Nice.
Yeah, she'll be buying that.
That sounds like my aesthetic, honestly. Like Katie's personal aesthetic.
It's literally on that third link that Jeremy shared. It's like,
I'm sure it is.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows down on that link.
On the first page?
On the first page of that third link.
Or 5.
It's in the middle.
Yeah, it's in the middle. It's the 55-160 Sherry Hill.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, she'll be getting that.
That's cute.
Oh,
It's
nice.
adorable. It's not
Yep.
$750 adorable for real world money, but it's adorable.
For sure. Yeah, I have a feeling there is a truly ridiculous amount of money spent here
Yeah.
between outfits for everybody, including like at least 6 or 7 for Jackson.
Cassandra
Leave
will make
these.
the joke that if you're gonna keep dressing me like my namesake, I'm not gonna start coming up with predictions.
I mean, no one would believe you if you did.
Yeah, these are the things that yes, you wear once to an actual say, and then never again, or you wear once and then they become performance outfits.
And they become what?
Performance outfits.
As well.
You wear them to an event, then they become Jackson's drag wardrobe.
Yep. But yeah,
There's a wide variety of dresses available here. Do you get Frisian into a dress?
I mean, if Frizzy wants to try it out,
Yeah.
Jackson will not push it, but if Frizzy wants to try it, oh yes.
Frisian, like during the World Wars, the military did drag.
Oh, they absolutely did
fuck
drag
yes,
shows.
they did.
There's footage of soldiers still in their drag as their drag performance got interrupted by an assault.
Shooting
an
Nazis.
artillery gun. Yeah.
Drag queens killing Nazis, aka my 2024 it said it.
Yes.
Now all I can think of is like Jackson does a drag show, and at some point during the night, there's Frisian in drag punching a neo-Nazi outside.
Oh, we can only hope.
Life fucking goals.
Like Frisian just kind of looks bewildered, like has no idea about dresses in the slightest.
Right.
Like he's not opposed to trying them on. He just has no idea where to start.
Oh, we'll get you started. And so there's another couple. Poor poor Frank is going to be waiting at the
At
the
Dollywood.
freehold
Yeah.
for like 6 hours.
I'm walking Dollywood. I'm playing music. I'm listening to music. I am reveling in all the emotions because boy do I need glamour, but also it's nice to have a day to just enjoy.
Fair. No, that is absolutely fair.
So Frank is fine with you being as late as you want to be.
Joe and Cassandra are doing the sisters thing. Jackson and Frisian are his. Jackson's gets to be drag mom again.
Uh-huh. Absolutely.
Like, you're just having the time of your fucking life.
So,
Listen, it's been a good few days. I shot an asshole and then got to play and then got to go clothes shopping. Life goals for Jackson, really.
so
As the person you shot, I feel slightly confused about how to feel about that.
That's fair.
So a several $1,000 shopping trip later.
Uh-huh.
Joe reeling from the number.
That's a
That's why
lot.
you don't look at the number.
Frisian makes a point not to look at the number. Also,
You
because his
just-
Frisian's frame of reference is still the 1940s money,
Right.
so he might have a heart attack.
Right.
At the money.
Oh my
Look, you don't look at the number. You just understand that you are able to shop at such a place, and knowing that you just sign the receipt, and then you have your accountant make sure that you didn't get scammed.
See,
Oh yeah, you're gonna need an accountant.
Congratulations, you got one now.
The thought just came to mind. We also have Tyr with us.
Yep.
So there's two people that know how to dress a masculine body in a dress.
This is true.
That is true.
That is very true.
And
And
Tyr
Tyr,
is probably
Tyr does it for like casual outfits, as
Right.
well, where I feel like Jack is more specialized in drag.
Jackson's more specialized in that, yes.
Tyr's probably also used to fitting a more muscular body.
Yes, Tyr is very built, and so Bologna knows very well how to fit outfits for someone
Yeah.
who's stronger.
Yeah, no, you're gonna need an accountant. You're gonna need. Do you have a lawyer yet?
honey,
Does your family have a lawyer?
I deflect these questions to you.
Let's phrase that. Does your family have a lawyer that you will want to retain, or should they be let go and you make a change?
I feel like as good as my family's lawyers are, I'm probably going to need lawyers that are more like my friend who moved to Baltimore. Considering the things that we get involved with on the regular.
I mean, that is fair.
My family's lawyers are good, but they're also honest lawyers. They're ethical lawyers, yeah.
So but you know how to find accountant.
Yeah, I can.
Attorneys,
Yeah,
okay.
we have an accountant. So that person probably does not need to be let go of.
That's fair. So yes, you're gonna need so you're gonna need an accountant for sure. You're going to need I mean that depends on how far you want to go with it. You might want to get an assistant of some kind to handle any professional things that you want to do. Obviously not a personal assistant, because that brings them into information that they may not be ready for. But
Honestly, regarding the accountant, I fully support getting an accountant, as I do not deal with this many decimal points, but that doesn't mean I'm just going to start spending whatever money I've got.
nor should you.
Nathan is very good at handling money.
I'm sure he is. I also need to know where my money's going and what's going on with it.
Absolutely, and that is important to know.
That's how I was raised, and I don't intend to, lest we forget, my family has owned a business for several generations that is still in operation.
Mhm.
We're not stupid.
Absolutely fair.
So I just need to know. I'm absolutely going to look at receipts. And I'm absolutely going to make sure, because I also know too many accountants. I'm sure Nathan is amazing. It would never ever do this, but I also know there's lots of accountants of rich people that play with the numbers a little bit to work in their favor.
Oh, I guess I should clarify. When I say you don't look at it. You don't look at it while you're there. You wait until you get home and you are dealing with the monthly or weekly financial reports or the like. Where in that case you are viewing the truly ludicrous amount of money that you have just spent, within the context of, yes, it's ludicrous, but here's how much you made.
Right.
Yeah, no, you never. You do not let your accountants just work willy nilly. That's
upside,
how you go to jail.
The upside is my family usually tried to hire everyone who was as ethical as they could find. So the accountant is fairly ethical. Nathan knows his way around money and knows better than to mess with money. The lawyers, however, are probably too ethical for the kind of business that we're going to be using them for.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I will need to find some new, slightly less ethical lawyers.
We are all too pretty, too fabulous, and too pixie-ish to last long in prison. So,
to be fair, I don't think any prison could ever hold us, at least not a mundane one.
Yes, but that's just inconvenient.
Prison fight sounds
I
fun.
wonder.
Then you escape from prison, and it's hard to access your money. Like it's just a whole thing. We don't want.
I'm thinking that maybe going to the commons would be. Sorry, my dog doing weird shit. I'm thinking that going to the commons, maybe we could find some of these connections that we're looking for, especially in the lawyers.
Quite possibly. It's not the worst idea in the world.
Yeah, we could probably take a look around there. See if any of the folks at the commons are lawyers or looking for new clients among the rest of the freehold.
Yep.
I had a thing I was going to say, and I've forgotten what it was.
Lawyers, freehold, money,
jail.
That was it. Yeah. This is your storyteller's reminder that every changeling can spend one glamour to escape from any mundane restraints.
Every changeling can, because that's a very specific power. Well, that makes certain wait, is that a
mundane restraints?
Is that a second edition thing?
I don't know if it's a second edition or just a changeling in general, but I know that every changeling can spend one glamour to escape physical.
You're saying I could have gotten out of that duct tape more easily?
Yes.
Interesting. That might be a second edition thing because I have a specific power for Megan, like a specific contract that does that. So if there's a contract for it and you can do it anyways,
yeah, that might be a second edition thing.
Fuck you, first edition.
Wonders and terrors. Let me find, because I know it's in the uses of glamour. Yeah, escape confinement. Yeah, you can just spend a glamour to escape confinement. Yeah, it might be a second edition thing, but yeah, every changeling in second edition can just spend a glamour to escape any kind of confinement or restraint. Mundane, magical stuff still works.
Cool.
And yeah, it does not look like glamour does that in first edition changeling.
All I can think of is a changeling crime boss.
They've never kept me pinned for anything. Can't.
So Houdini was a changeling.
I mean,
And-
reasonably.
Or a mage. I could see a mage easily.
Yeah.
The problem is
Or a person. Or just a mortal sleeper.
like Houdini was also like, I don't know about famously, but was very like not into the supernatural.
Oh no.
Well, yes, because if you
Although it
if
would be ironic if he was a supernatural.
it's not ironic, it's protecting the masquerade or the veil or whatever it is that you call it.
Yeah.
You take your abilities and you go out of your way to show how they are not supernatural, even though they are.
Fair.
You pull the double you pull the double whammy.
Of note, you cannot escape any iron restraints, however, using your glamour.
I mean,
Well, there goes the.
that would make sense.
As nothing that you do magically can affect iron. So now most modern handcuffs are not made using iron, so you can still escape most handcuffs and stuff like that.
There's
In a
just an
high
unfortunate-
tourist area like this, they probably use the zip tie ones.
Yeah.
That would make sense.
There's just that really unfortunate period of time where where shackles were made of iron. It's like, oh, you had rope, you were tied up with rope. Oh, now there's iron. Oh, we're away from iron again.
Okay.
Anyway,
So presumably, all of you make your way over to the commons.
Yep.
So Frank, you've got a while before people show up. I'm assuming you're taking some time to gather glamour.
Yes.
I will say, with the length of time that people are here, you can fit in 3 harvesting rolls.
Sure. What's a harvesting roll?
It is whatever role you think you are going to use to try and incite an emotional response from somebody around to try and
Performing music. I imagine there's plenty of opportunities to do that in Dollywood.
roll me manipulation and expression.
Does my music specialization apply?
Yes, this is literally what it's for.
Does it give me how many? What does it do? Give me 2
Gives
dots?
you 1 extra die.
1 extra die.
Okay.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
That's 6 glamour you're able to harvest over the course of the time that you're away.
Delicious.
And as the group reconvenes, for all of you meeting back at that one staff building that's always closed for maintenance that houses the commons, the group of you all convene. I'm assuming that I will say that Frank is probably already there, having done his harvesting for the day. So
Most likely.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Frank is already inside, especially because that way Frank can take advantage of the commons rule that says no fighting in the commons.
So I will say, if it's still that point, I'm going to go to the commons. Is there a doctor in the commons?
There is.
Dr. Croak.
Dr. Croak is in.
I'm going to head over to the doctor because I'm still injured.
Yes. Dr. Croak is able to work with you on that.
Let me take a look. A lot of performance. Let me see if I switched over. I did. I'm Lisa now. So Lisa goes to the doctor.
All right. So yeah, you go see Dr. Croak. While that is happening, there it is. All right. So yeah, as you go to see Dr. Croak, and we'll cover what happened there in just a bit. And as the rest of the group arrives at the commons, that's where we're gonna take our break.
Yep.
Remember, when we take our break, you take your break. So set up, stretch your legs, do whatever you need to do, and we'll be back in just a few minutes. Please enjoy these commercial messages.
Going, not going. We're back because I accidentally clicked the button.
Don't yet. Don't.
Welcome
We're
back.
back.
We're professionals.
This mouse has a hair trigger on it.
I've done that sometimes where I've accidentally clicked just because my hand was like flexing involuntarily, just like
The mouse is much like Jackson's temper.
Oh shit.
So Frank, or Lisa in this case,
Yes.
Croak can provide you basic medical attention, but if you want quick medical attention, he can attempt using the Gift of Warm Blood contract, so long as you are willing to foot the glamour.
How much glamour?
1 per healing attempt.
I'm not super wounded. I'm mostly going in to check on the bruising on my back and the slices on my arms.
Not
The gunshot wound.
Didn't get shot or anything, so it's not super wounded.
You got shot in a bulletproof vest. Like it.
Oh,
it
that's
hurt,
right.
But
Yeah, that's the bruising.
Croak is gonna roll intelligence and medicine. He's not gonna bother putting any willpower into it. He shouldn't need it. Didn't need it. So with 3 successes, he cleans up all of your injuries, makes sure they're properly stitched up, gives you a little bit of antibiotics to take, and downgrades 1 of those points of lethal damage to a bashing damage.
Okay.
Also, that bashing damage that you had marked should be gone by now.
Yes. Okay. Does he ask at any point about any of the woundage?
No, he doesn't need to.
Okay.
But he sort of looks it over. Just try and avoid throwing yourself into any more dangerous situations, or you will tear those stitches and start bleeding again. Other than that, you should recover within a few days.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go talk to the guy who shot me. So
It's not my place to ask. But again, try not to get shot again.
I hope not. I don't think he's affected by the oath anymore. So he might.
That's still not my place to ask. And he lets you go.
Okay.
Meanwhile, the rest of you arrive at the Commons. So you all enter the Commons. It's, again, as a reminder, divided into 4 large categories with a circular central space and walkways that sort of travel between all of them. As you enter the main one, as you enter the main walkway from the entrance that leads straight down into the circle, which passes by spring and summer as the 2 that are most willing to face new visitors. I'm realizing that the Commons is sort of laid out like a square Simon Says, where you got like the 4 large corners and then the center point and the walkways that travel between them.
Yeah.
And the spring and summer are right here at the front, and then autumn and winter are at the back.
Right.
And so I'm assuming you are all headed straight for the center,
Mm-hmm.
presumably to get a drink from Liquatius.
Of course.
I was going to ask, is there music? But the right question might have been, was there music when I came in?
Yes, there is typically some kind of music going on at the Commons. It varies from day to day. At the moment, it's end of autumn going into winter, so we've got some like light haunting string instruments playing in the background.
All I can imagine is like, of course there's music in the comments. It's probably coming from Spring having a party of some type.
Oh yeah, there's always that if Spring is doing something of entertainment, which they usually are, but that music is typically confined to Spring's area
No,
and does not travel further. Supernaturally does not travel further.
changeling magics are great for parties.
So Joe is going to, once they find a table, Joe is going to offer to buy the first round of drinks.
Works for me. I will never turn down a free drink.
So when Lisa sees the group, she will hesitate for a moment and then walk over.
Actually, I'm going to ask both you and Jackson to roll a wits and composure roll to see who sees who first.
Mm.
Neither of you are easy to miss.
I was going to say probably not, especially since I almost certainly wore something out of the final boutique store.
Oh yeah.
Wits,
Composure.
3 successes.
That's 3 from Lisa.
Probably you then. Yep.
Due from Jackson. So, with it only being a 1-point split and both of you having multiple successes, Lisa sees Jackson first. It's not long after that Jackson sees Lisa, though.
And that it is Lisa.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, that might make things a little easier. Or maybe not. We'll see. I'm just trying to react to the fact that I looked up and there was a tail across your face.
Yep, that happens all the time. She has no concept of personal space. I am her personal space.
She's a cat.
Yeah, she's a cat, exactly.
But
Is it worth noting that Frisian would also be on edge and looking?
Sure, also go ahead and roll your wits and composure.
Cassandra will just flat out ask Jackson what he meant by that. Like, what exactly are you trying to say?
I'm just going to gesture over to where Lisa is.
Frisian spots Lisa at the same time that Lisa spots Jackson.
All right. Lisa's going to walk directly over to Cassandra.
Lisa, good to see you.
I just quietly sip my drink.
Hi. Am I okay to join you?
Lisa, would you like something to drink?
No, Frank recommends I don't drink a lot.
All right, I'm just gonna sit down with mine then. Everybody all set?
Mm-hmm.
Anybody bring the popcorn?
Lisa, honey, what do you want to do? Do you want to drink, or are you just not having a drink because someone says you should?
I don't know.
And a drink, the drink doesn't have to be alcoholic, honey. It can be a soda, a glass of water, milkshake. I don't know.
She looks sort of cagey. Milkshake. Definitely a milkshake.
Gracious can make many things that are not alcoholic.
I mean, bartender.
Do you want? And you don't have to. I'm not trying to push you to do anything, but I'm just saying, if you want, there are milkshakes that have alcohol in them.
Immediately a grasshopper comes to mind, which sounds good right now.
Hold on. Is this... What's the good decision roll?
Intelligence and composure, usually.
Okay.
Or intelligence and wits, one or the other.
One of those stats is way better than the other. It's Lisa, so I'm thinking intelligence and wits.
Probably.
Oh, Jackson, why are you suggesting things that'll make for a bad night? Okay.
Listen, Jackson is just concerned that Lisa's wishes and desires are being oppressed, and
Not
wants
for a
Lisa to
bad-
be her own
not for a
person.
bad reason.
No, Drev, I just looked up a grasshopper, and that just sounds like
Right?
absolutely
They're great.
amazing right now. I'd never heard of that, but I want one.
All right. It's probably for the best, especially at the moment, if I don't.
Fair enough.
Um,
Wait,
So the bartender.
The
"What
choice
can you
is
put in your
yours.
milkshake?"
What?
What flavor do you want?
Yes.
Let's go with a mint chocolate milkshake.
I can do a specific flavor. Yeah, I can also surprise you.
Can it be snozberry?
Let me think for a minute. I believe that might be an actual berry.
It's not.
It's not.
It's not.
Okay, I was
no,
about to say. I think
it's not.
I know there are actual berries that sound like euphemisms but are not. But
No, snozberry
Berries
is
are that's the.
It's
the-
entirely made up by
the Roald Dahl.
Willy Wonka.
by
Yep.
by Roald Dahl.
Roald Dahl.
That's not a real berry.
I drink snozberry tea all the time.
I don't know who tells you that, but they're lying to you.
Frank keeps telling me it's not real, but then I keep drinking it. So clearly he's wrong.
I don't know who's giving you that tea, but it's a different berry.
Well, I've never seen it in the real.
Ah, that explains things.
You know what, Lisa? Loquacious is very good at what he does. Why don't we just let him make something for you?
Fine. Whatever you think a snozberry should taste like should be fine.
You know what? We'll go with it. And Loquacious very rapidly pours you a milkshake that looks like it's made of glitter and rainbows.
That is everything Lisa wants right now.
It has a wide variety of different mixed fruit flavors going into it, and also the standard cream and sugar taste.
apparently a later book after Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory
Charlie the Chocolate.
by by Roald Dahl clarified what a snozberry is, and it's a dick.
No, yeah, he confirmed that.
Yeah,
Snosberry is a euphemism for a dick.
yeah. That's a very Roald Dahl thing to do. Children's books.
Roald Dahl is he was a person, all right.
Yes, he certainly was.
But yeah, this drink is served to you. It has a taste that theoretically could be described if I had words for it.
Glitter and rainbows.
Excellent. We'll leave it there.
Psychedelic.
It definitely tastes psychedelic.
Lisa, that drink is very you.
It tastes just like the snozberries in the hedge.
I am so glad you found something that you like.
I like lots of things. So, speaking of finding things, my brother found this. She says, pulling out the memories that they came across in the hedge.
In the reel, he pulls out a pair of dog tags that have the name Florian de Vries on them.
I was about to say I don't want to point fingers, but Frisian, I do believe those are yours.
If you want them, if you'd rather not remember, that's fine too.
Rizzy just completely freezes up.
You don't have to decide right now. I can also hand them to someone else if you don't want me to hold them.
Hmm. Why don't you hand them over here? I can hold them for us. That's all right with you, honey.
Two
Crazy.
successes. She hesitates, but does hand them to you.
All right.
She doesn't look at you, but she hands them to you.
Yep.
All right, are we going to talk about the big pink glittery elephant in the room, or are we just going to let it sit there?
Great. Were you going to look for your memories in the hedge?
That's not the big
I
pink
believe.
elephant she's talking about.
I don't know that I can have that conversation with Lisa.
What elephant?
It's a figure of speech.
Oh.
We're
So-
talking about the fact that I shot you.
Lisa, honey, anything you want to say about that?
Lisa's making a roll real quick.
Yeah, at least no. No, there was an amount of the silence though. So what's the next move though?
Just complete shutdown.
Honey, avoidance isn't going to work here, Lisa. If we're going to move forward as a group in any capacity,
Mhm.
we need to be able to talk about things.
Yes.
Do you
Mhm.
have any things to say? Any feelings on the matter of getting shot by Jackson?
Good thing I'm rolling a lot of dice for this. Ooh, that's only one success.
But still a success.
It is a success.
Jackson's gonna say, "Oh, this is a bad idea, but that's fine." Jackson's gonna say, "You know, I think Frank. I think I would love to talk to Frank, and if he doesn't, if he doesn't want to talk right now, Lisa, that's fine. I have some video footage I would like to show you. I know how to get a motherfucker to show up."
You know.
Ooh. 1, 2, 3.
1, 2,
5.
3, 4. That is 5 successes for Frank to take control.
Yep.
All right, now that Frank is in control, how in control is Frank? Oh, Frank is very in control. Okay. The colors drain immediately. We're going to make a deal right here, right now. I don't particularly care what you do to me. You hurt Lisa, you die. You try to pull that stunt with her, I won't just take you to the hedge.
You're not in a position to be making threats.
Hold
And presents
on, hold-
claws across the table.
Okay.
Frisian, honey, I appreciate it. Ease down.
Take a drink, Frisian. Jackson's got this for the moment.
Correct. Nothing's gonna happen here, regardless. Now,
I have
Frank.
to ask.
Mm-hmm.
Was Bologna brought into the commons, or are they just outside wandering right now?
I believe they were left outside.
Okay. Still have that contract sitting in front of them.
No, Frank.
Polonna's just playing a game of count the changelings and Dahlia.
Yep.
Yep, pretty much.
I understand that you may be upset. And to a certain degree, I can understand that. With regard to the incident at Joe's home, I told you if you kept following me, that I would harm you.
I jumped a railing. I was going to an entirely different floor.
Down the stairs, I was in the process of running. How would you interpret that?
As somebody trying to get to a different floor.
Frank,
Yeah, he asked a question, I answered it.
take your
And that
feelings.
is, I appreciate the answer to the question. I interpreted it in the heat of the situation, with all the, murder happening and such, as trying to cut me off.
I suppose you would
And
get caught up in the
therefore-
mindset of murder.
Frank,
It's fine. Frank's trying to get a rise. Frank is not going to get a rise.
No, I'm trying to comment on the fact that you shot me,
Mhm.
and suddenly everyone's on your side about it.
No, I think I
I'm on
understand where you are
nobody's-
coming from. I don't think they're on anybody's side.
I'm on nobody's side. I just also don't want you to go around poking people.
Well, that's not true. I'm pretty sure Frisian is on my side. But that said, as I have already expressed to all of you, everybody else here, I have no intent to cause you harm. You may not believe this. Outside of the shooting you, I've been trying to help you.
You're right. I do have trouble believing it.
I understand that. I have no desire to do any harm to you, as long as you not try to do harm to me. The one nice thing about this whole oath breaking thing is how to put this. The gloves are off. I'm going to attempt to do no harm to you. I would hope that you would not attempt to do harm to me. If you do, I will respond in kind. Now, as far as Lisa, you're two people in one box. I'm still not sure if you realize that. I know Lisa don't.
He leaves. Gets up and walks.
A hell of a denial impulse, says James.
Yeah, he's just going to shout after him. You need to stop lying to yourself and to Lisa. That's just harm to yourself. and then just lean back. I'm trying.
I mean, well, you haven't shot him, so
No, I have no intention of shooting him unless he tries to shoot me.
A voice from about 6 inches above your head, Jackson, goes,
Uh,
that one has need of memories of their own. You look up and see, why am I forgetting her name?
Chelsea Spinner.
Chelsea Spinner.
Mhm.
Chelsea Spinner just hanging from the ropes above you.
hmm.
Chelsea.
Hello.
So can you recommend a good psychiatrist?
No, but I think an icon might help.
Well,
I mean, I could always ask Tia to tie him down to a chair and we can break him psychologically and rebuild him
No.
if that's what you prefer.
no.
This
No.
needs. I understand the temptation. I certainly sprung this information on him suddenly and without his knowledge or permission. I don't think doing more is gonna help.
Hedge takes what it needs and what it wants, and it when you leave, I would suspect that they might be incapable of processing their experience without some of those memories returned.
That does seem likely.
So you're saying like there's a mental block.
I would suspect as much, considering the automatic nature of the response to leave the instant a situation that is difficult to deny was arisen.
That would make
It's- his behavior does line up with brainwashing. Or at
Yeah.
least automatic response.
also lines up with a mental block in response to trauma.
mhm.
We don't know exactly what he went through over there.
No, I think I'm not. How to put this? I think that I don't regret showing that information to Frank. That said, I could. There were better ways to do it. I certainly did it in a way to be vindictive. I can recognize that.
I don't think any amount of proof will be anything more than harm until they can regain the part of themselves that recognizes who they are.
Well,
All right.
here's the thing, the hedge is a big place and we don't exactly have a treasure map to find who they are.
No, but there are ways, I'm sure.
Any of y'all feel up to visiting a goblin market later?
Up to it? No. For you? Yes.
I can go alone. Well,
Do not go alone, please.
No. Sandra, I know you know better than that.
listen, this entire group's falling apart, so we got to put things back together. And I'm willing to.
And I told you, even though that's the last place. She thinks for a minute. Then nods like, even though that's the last place I want to go. I already told you that I know you weren't asking, but I'm telling you that I was gonna go with you. Because I know you are my family, you are my sister, and that's important to you. And you've already clearly done the same for me.
Chelsea had come down to clear your finished drinks and replace them with new ones, but had listened to all the conversation. So she sort of swipes the empty cups, puts fresh ones down, and scares back up the ropes.
Thanks, Chelsea.
No worries.
I will. Sandra, honey, I will be more than happy to wait right outside the door to the entrance to the hedge. And make
I
sure
know.
you get back safely.
I know you have a very I don't know why I'm not scared of being in the hedge.
You want
Um,
answers. That's more powerful.
I also think I'm a little desensitized. I mean, Jackson directly interfaced with some of the creatures from there, and I spent 4 years without consciousness. Well, however many years I was over there.
Well, there's also the aspect that I don't know if every changeling processes this, says James, but the hedge and Arcadia are two different places. The hedge is a barrier between the two of us, between our realm and theirs. More like theirs than ours, but it's not the same.
I am less concerned. Takes a drink. It is not that it is not the nature of the place necessarily that frightens me. The closer we get, the further in we go, the closer we get to them. And I mean, it's just that simple for me.
I mean, in's not really a direction as far as the hedge goes.
You know what I mean, though.
James.
Yeah, I get your point.
Yeah, it is stepping into the
Lion's Den.
no, that would be a trip to Arcadia, but it is stepping into
It
is
might not be into the lion's den, but it is onto the savannas.
yes. It is heading into the heading onto the beach before you get to the sea. Let's put it that way.
Understood.
I don't have any desire to get my feet wet.
Also understood.
Frankly, it terrifies me that you all will be going there, but I understand that you all gonna do what you all gonna do, and I respect that, and am perfectly fine with that.
No, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like this absolutely terrifies me. To my very core. However, it frightens me more of my sister going in there alone and something happening to her.
I admire that about
Southern
you.
accent's coming out, says James.
What? Say what now?
It is.
James says your southern accent's coming out.
Yeah, your accent is showing, sweetie.
Well, I mean business.
You do, and I appreciate that. I understand that, and I wish I was able to do that. I just am not.
Nobody is asking you to do more than you
I know.
can do. That's
Doesn't make me wish I couldn't. Doesn't make me wish I couldn't go with you. Could you know what I mean?
no. I do know what you mean.
Well,
But it's also nice to know that you'd be waiting on the other side.
Is it weird that I can say I kind of empathize with Lisa and Frank a little bit?
no, not at all. Speaking of that, I finished my drink. Y'all talk whatever edge talking you're gonna do or whatever. I'm gonna go track that fucker down.
Maybe don't call him that fucker. To the face.
I think he's fine with whatever I call him as long as I don't call him Lisa. I start walking off in the direction that Frank went.
So which direction did Frank go?
He said there's always a party in Spring Court.
Yep.
Spring Court.
All right.
Perfect.
So you walk into spring, and yeah, the music hits as soon as you cross the threshold in the springs section of the building. There is a lively Irish dancing tune being played. Someone is going very hard on a fiddle, and you don't see anyone actually playing it.
Is there a fiddle around?
Not that you can see.
I'm gonna look around. Are there other musical instruments?
Not out in the open. If there are musical instruments on people, they are not being publicly displayed.
I'm gonna walk over to someone. So, music is good here. Question: you got any instruments around?
As you walk up to. Where did I put? Yeah. So you walk up to a metal flesh elemental, a changeling whose skin is like this flat, like silver sheen, and their hair is this like permanently spiked, slicked back, spiked hairstyle. This sort of like it tries to lay down like it would be just like long pushed back hair, but it's made of metal spikes that are layered on top of each other, so they have a certain amount of volume built in.
So, like anime protagonist.
Yeah, anime protagonist spiked long back hair.
Perfect.
As you speak to them, and they sort of turn. Yeah, I think one of the trunks has like a variety of instruments laid in it. If you want to go and try and open one up, she says, indicating to Spring has like wardrobes and like luggage trunks laid out like in just various spots that people will occasionally just sort of reach into and pull something out. They seem to have a variety of different outfits, stuff, anything that a Spring courtier might want to grab on a moment's notice.
Cool. I'm gonna go find a trunk and see if I can find a fiddle so I can have a dueling fiddle battle with wherever this music's coming from.
So you go ahead and you it's not hard. You find a trunk that has musical instruments in it, and yes, fiddles are definitely an instrument that there is a lot of in supply.
Cool. What am I rolling for dueling this fiddle?
Manipulation and expression again.
Manipulation and expression?
Or presence and expression, whichever one.
Cool. I'm gonna spend a willpower. Because I'm a little peeved right now.
Two. And there's a 10 in there, so roll on one. So 2.
Just 2.
You do a decent job of like playing counterpoint to the ethereal fiddle that is constantly playing. Find lulls in the string, and it seems to adapt to you as you start playing. It adjusts its style to accommodate this synergy of two different instruments.
Mostly I'm just throwing myself 100% into this and completely blocking out that the rest of the world exists.
Yep. And changelings understand the desire to ignore anything except for what you're putting your focus on occasionally.
I imagine the Spring Court especially.
It depends. That's definitely a coping mechanism they're familiar with. That is the state that Jackson finds Frank in, just furiously playing a fiddle in counterpoint to the ever-present sourceless fiddle music that is playing in the entirety of Spring Court.
Mm-hmm. I'll just sit there and watch for now. I'm not going to interrupt. This is.
Go coping.
Yeah. This is Frank's me time.
Oh, Frank's going to be doing it for a while.
That's fine.
He might, over the course of the time as he's doing with it, he might start swapping out instruments and going for, shifting the music around, just kind of playing back and forth with the fiddle and seeing if it'll, go with it.
Yeah, the fiddle adjusts to whatever other music is being played manually, but the fiddle is always a fiddle and it is always playing its style. It's just playing counterpoint and adjusting itself to.
I'll probably go through various different folk musics.
If there's anything that's like a traditional song with lyrics, I will join in with singing.
Roll me presence and
Jackson is not an instrument person,
but is a singer, yeah.
but is a performer.
Yeah, roll me presence and expression.
Expression. Let me check here. Because I always forget to check seeming stuff. Yep, that doesn't help. And yeah, that's just empathy. Okay. Really? That's fine.
I'm going to interpret that as he starts singing, Frank starts playing louder to drown him out.
I mean, it's not hard when you're playing a violin or something similar.
Yeah. But you get the feeling that it's intentional.
That's fine.
Maybe not intentional. It might be reactionary.
Fair. You're not sure Frank has recognized that you're there, but Frank's behavior is accommodating that you're there.
Yes. That is absolutely fair. I do not escalate.
Okay.
But there are a few like old folk songs that you know the lyrics to that you join in occasionally, but every time you do, the fiddle gets very loud.
Yep. I shoot Frank. I'm kidding.
No violence in the Commons.
No shooting your Motley members. What's the difference?
No, this one will get me in trouble with other people.
Yeah, that one will get you in trouble with people that are not related to the pledge.
Yes.
Fair. No. Regardless. Frank is going to completely lose track of reality and time at this point and just go. Like, just keep playing. How long is Jackson going to wait?
As long as
It's not like Jackson's in a bad spot to spend time. Like,
right.
To hang out.
I mean, Jackson is basically oriented. I don't know if it's officially really pledged, but is oriented spring.
There isn't really like a pledge structure in Tennessee.
Yes, but yeah. Actually, I mean, he literally has spring mantle. So
yeah. Your mantle is more instinctive.
Yes, for sure. So yeah, it's not a place that is uncomfortable.
Yeah. All right. I mean, Frank will go for several hours, and then eventually, you're not sure.
If somebody yanks me, I will be yanked, but otherwise, I'm just here.
You're not sure if he's physically tired or emotionally tired, but he will eventually stop.
Okay. So that's us for several hours.
Yep. What's everyone else doing for that time?
So what's your plan for the hedge?
That's That's honestly a really great question, but like I have very little experience running around in there. Ideally, and I hate to say these words, but Frank would be our best bet because he has the most experience running around the hedge versus all of us.
Right.
But failing that, and assuming Jackson don't shoot him in the back of the skull, I think step one is the goblin market, and then step two is maybe try the hedge near where we came out. I don't know if our icons are just spread throughout the hedge willy-nilly, or if they are in places that we visited, or it's both. I don't honestly know.
All right.
She's gonna open her phone and text Briar to see if she would be able to come over and have a talk with us.
Yep. You text back and you get back an OMW.
Asking for some help.
I do have hedge sense, if that helps. I don't know how much it helps.
It's more than what I've got, but she has no idea what I'm doing in the hedge at all.
And a few minutes, like half a minute later, Briar Rose steps over and sits down. Well, lovely to see all of you.
Likewise.
Always a pleasure, Briar. So,
I still don't have a name for your motley, do you?
That's the thing.
A lot of us name the groups that we run with. It's sort of symbolic.
It never really came up.
I was gonna call you the group name, and then I realized you don't have a group name.
I didn't even think about that. I guess add that to the docket of things to be discussed.
For us, we just refer to it as our family, and that's not an official name.
Yeah, and calling you the family kind of sounds like a cult.
A little bit.
I'm aware. I'm just saying we refer to it as a family rather than a motley. So our mindset might be a little bit different.
Not a cult, an organized crime syndicate.
It can be both.
No, that's the Vampire Monday Night game with the Giovanni.
We will discuss a name and get back to you with that.
Top 1%.
I don't think we should start calling ourselves the 1%ers around here, else we might end up with our heads on the guillotines.
I'm just being stupid. Don't mind me. I'm glad Jackson went around to hear me say that.
Oh, he would never let you live down admitting that. So, Brian, we were just discussing about going out and looking for icons. And we realized we really have no idea where to start with that. I know you mentioned to me a goblin market that we will be checking out a little later today, but
That's sort of the risk when it comes to hunting things down in the hedge. The thorns, the icons that you've lost, so say the Scholars of Autumn, are things that the hedge scraped away from you during that panicked flight we call the end of our durance. When we made our escape from the hell that we came from. During that escape, the hedge takes things from us. Sometimes it's memories of our torture that are too unbearable to recall, that would have made us stop our flight. Sometimes it's things that we would have rather have kept, but it took from us as a price. You never know what the memories that you left behind in the hedge are good, bad, terrible, wonderful, or anything along the spectrum. But it takes what it feels it needs or wants, and those stay on the thorns that you scratched on your way by. The problem is, whether those thorns stayed in the same place is anyone's guess. Familiar places, things that you might have flashes of memory of. If you recognize a piece of the hedge that you can't say that you've been to in recent memory, there might be good odds that it's somewhere an icon might rest. But most of it is blind chance or thorough exploration. The place is psychoactive, so if you go in looking for and knowing that you are and emotionally being ready to look for an icon, your odds are better than if you just go in walking around. Though, again, we live in a storybook. Sometimes it does just happen because it's appropriate. But the most common thing that happens is that a goblin, a hobgoblin, someone who lives and makes their life in the hedge, finds someone's icon and recognizing the inherent value that it has, even if they can't quite use it themselves, brings it to market.
Then yeah, I think the goblin market's our best first step. And then it's just, I guess, diving in and out of the hedge until we die.
Maybe not phrasing it like that.
Till the dive in the hedge until we find everything we need.
And
Little
you never
less,
know.
little less dangerous.
Some people have more, some people have fewer icons out there in the thorns. You never know until you found the last one, if you found all of them. Well, you know you haven't found all of them, I should say, until you found the last one. Because there'll always still be holes. But you never know. The size of the gap is not necessarily indicative of how many icons are left. Some people get it all back in one. You might call those people lucky. I might call them very unlucky to get all of that back in one rush.
That sounds like a literal hell.
I imagine that's a literal hell. Price to pay for convenience of only finding one icon.
Some people just find what they think is all the good ones and leave it at that, assuming as they get more and more paranoid that anything else they find is going to be painful. And they'll never know if they're right or wrong because they haven't found all of them. And sometimes people are content not remembering everything.
Honestly, that might be where I am. At least for right now. But that it's not about me. So
No, the real person we need icons for is Frank. I know I'm missing things and I want them back, but Frank is literally being held together with duct tape and hope.
there's
So If you want to look at that and tell me that there ain't duct tape somewhere on the body, then by all means. But I at least know Lisa has 2 or 3 rolls in her messenger bag. So
Okay, so I just for my sake. So I know if I'm going in here with you, what we're going in here for. Is your primary focus to go in here to find icons for you, or to find icons for anybody in our party?
I mean, any of us would be best. I can't sit here and say that I just want to find mine because that's beyond selfish.
Jackson's not here to say it, so I'm gonna say it. It's okay to be selfish.
Hmm.
Take it from somebody that doesn't like all the fuss being made over them. Every once in a while, it's okay. If this is something you want, if this is something you want to take for yourself, then you go ahead and you say it. And ain't nobody gonna judge you for it. Just because I'm content with what I can or cannot remember, I know that's not true for the rest of us.
My main focus is me.
Good.
My spouse were in here, she would be kicking my ass.
Yes, she would. Which is why I am now speaking on her behalf and on Jackson's behalf as well.
Don't let Jackson know that.
I've taught you well, my young Padawan.
I think they'd be irritated on the outside, but I think on the inside they'd be more than flattered. So I'm just gonna go with that.
I hate when you're right. I really do.
Feels like shit, doesn't it?
Just a little bit.
Irritating as hell, isn't it?
So fine, yes, I do want my priority for myself is finding these icons, but if we can find anybody else's along the way, fantastic.
Oh, sure. I just wanted to be clear about what we're going in there for before we went in there.
I don't.
You don't what?
It's very difficult to. I have holes in my memories, and I recognize that I have holes in my memories, but it's very weird trying to figure out what's missing because I don't know what's missing.
I don't think that's the point. I think the whole thing of it is, and correct me if I'm wrong, anybody who might be listening to this conversation knows more than I do. I think the whole point of it is that with the icons, you don't know you're missing it. Oh, well, otherwise, it would literally drive you insane. If you knew you were missing it, then that would be your white whale, and you'd go to any lengths to get to it.
Yeah.
Now, if you find something and you didn't realize it was missing, well, that's just like finding $20 in a jacket you haven't worn in a while. Hopefully. and not like a speeding ticket or something.
Oh yeah.
That would be bad. I just want to make sure we knew why we're going in there before we go in there.
Christine, you're being awfully quiet over there.
I have absolutely no idea what's going on. You called me out. I just ran across town to play musical vehicles.
That's fun. No, so Fizzian, to catch you up, Frank ran off somewhere. Jackson followed them, wherever they went. There's no gunshots, so I'm assuming everybody's still alive for the time being. I almost called you Julia because that's your name. I was doing so well. Cassandra wants to go looking for icons in the hedge, and so I was just telling her, whether I was asking her about what her true purpose was, whether it was to go for everybody or just for herself. And so we were clarifying that point before any of us headed into the hedge. So far it's myself and Cassandra going into the hedge. I don't know about anybody else.
I mean, I have no problem going in the hedge.
All right. And she's going to turn and look at James. I have a feeling I already know the answer to this question, but you might surprise me. Are you going in or are you waiting on the other side?
I don't have the same qualms with the hedge. I am perfectly fine going in.
That surprises me. Okay.
I don't process it the same way. It's a dangerous place, and it's more dangerous than anything out here, but it's a place, and I'm not scared of places. I'm scared of things in the places, and I learn how to deal with the things in those places.
Yeah, it's like I spent like 70 years just staring out into the hedge. It does not frighten me as much as the Keeper's realm itself.
I mean, I I've just, even before any of this, and she just gestures to the area around her. For any of this, I was just always terrified that when I had everything, that something would be taken away.
Something's taken away. You don't know if you want it back.
No, it's not talking about memories. I'm talking about I've got my family, I've got you, I've got everything I need, and yet I'm headed back into the place where I don't want to go to in the first place, but it's my family, so of course I'm going. And I don't want to trip a wire or something and have you or me or anybody else to fall back to where we were. And you can tell I'm getting real stressed about it because my accent is getting stronger and stronger. And that's what happens.
Yeah, I can tell. You don't have to go anywhere you don't want to go.
It's my sister. I'm going.
Fair enough. Then you've decided. And I don't think there's too much point in worrying about it further.
God, you're so irritating.
Am I wrong?
Don't they just piss you off with that logic?
No, time fucking out. And I know you're related, but do you have any idea how many times I hear that line?
It's directly from Sen.
Yes. Am I wrong? You know what? You might be. Sorry. Fucking A. Trying to escape here. Shit.
I have lived my life very thoroughly by the statement of, if there's something you can do about it, don't worry and do something about it. And if there's nothing you can do about it, don't worry because there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, no.
I have anxiety. That doesn't work that way.
Yeah, right here. Yeah, no. No. See, because my anxiety started when I was listening to the Mama's Gonna Buy You a Mockingbird song and going, oh, that poor mama buying all that stuff and that baby don't even that baby ain't even feeling any better. This is a very sad song. Why are they this is not a lullaby. If you think I'm kidding, I'm not.
I know, I fully believe you. It's just also hilarious.
And I had a wonderful childhood. I really did, but this is what my brain does. Anyway. So she's gonna turn to James and she's gonna go, so you're telling me when we go in there that you're not afraid of losing anything.
I'm always afraid, but I'm not about to let the fear stop me. I'm afraid every day that I'm going to lose everything. That's just the natural state of my life, is I know that there's always the risk of everything going wrong.
Might be nice to hear every once in a while, because you're sounding rather invincible over there.
It's just the fact that if you're always afraid, you have to learn how to keep doing things while being afraid.
That's my secret, Cap.
I'm always afraid.
Yeah, like when that's your daily, it no longer bears mentioning.
I mean, fair. That's also how anxiety works. So, I mean, anyway, back to escapism.
Oh no, that was Frisian commenting that.
Oh, was it Frizzy? I'm sorry. It's honestly, we've been going back and forth so much. It's really hard to tell.
The World War II soldier who's every day afraid of losing everything.
You know what? Maybe I should have thought about my words more before I said them. I really need to learn how to be quiet sometimes, and I'm so glad that Jackson's not around to hear me say that either.
It's fine. We'll tell him later.
Oh, I'm sure you will. If I can savor it just a little bit longer.
Frisian turns to James and it's like, I'm not, and just kind of mouths to him, I'm not going to tell Jackson later. Mostly because I'm not going to remember to.
James just nods.
So, when we going?
Well, whenever our two problem children can stop fighting, then we can discuss that.
Oh, then we're gonna be here for 100 years.
I mean,
I was thinking at least when we haven't been drinking already.
I was gonna say maybe after we've gotten alcohol out of our system, maybe also after we've paid a ticket to that a visit to that Cavaldi person.
Both fair point.
Fair.
Both fair points. How about some food and slightly less alcoholic drinks, and then we sit around and talk about battle on.
Cassandra is going to text her spouse.
Of course she
and
is.
say, we would like to meet with your Taylor tonight, if that's possible. If
You got
not,
text-
tomorrow will work as well.
You got a text back. Give me 5 minutes. And presumably, they make a phone call.
You know, I say it a lot, but I'm kind of really lucky to have her.
Yeah, you are.
I don't know many people who would have, given her situation, I don't know many people who would have would have done the same thing. But
You'd be surprised.
when she told me about the day that I got taken
Mm-hmm.
and that she saw the fetch be left behind,
Mm-hmm.
I told her that I don't know if I would be able to kill her fetch, that I would have lived the lie.
See, here's the thing. I don't think you give yourself enough credit. I can't see you living a lie. And I mean, one thing your spouse and I have in common is we've both had to stare down. We both had we've both had to stare down things pretending to be the one we love and tell ourselves that that's not really them because that's the only way you could go through with it and you can get rid of the lie. So you'd be very surprised about what you can do.
James, hug your wife before she explodes.
James just loops an arm around Joe and pulls her in close.
No, I'm fine. I'm just saying, I get it. It's not a position I wish on anybody, but what needs to be done is what needs to be done. And the truth is always going to be stronger than a lie.
Also, your spouse, James says to Cassandra, also has something that I would in most people call a killer instinct, and I'm not certain it's not accurate for them as well, considering. But based on the description that has been shared a little bit, it sounds like they didn't really think about it. They just kind of did.
Well, I do not think it was done mindlessly. I do know that they knew that that wasn't.
Yeah, they obviously knew it wasn't you, but I don't think their thought process went much further than that and blind rage.
I mean, can't blame them. You do what you need to do to get the job done.
I blamed them even a little bit, but that's a hell of a thing to have to see that happen and your first reaction be killer rage.
I mean,
There's a fire in that person.
You have no idea.
The way you say that, I think I do now.
you've got fire in you too. Don't get smart.
Shh.
And with that, you get a text that just says, "We're on for midnight tonight."
How you all like to see a tailor?
I would love to see a tailor.
And with that, that is where we'll end for the week. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.